Think of each disk or directory as a drawer in a filing cabinet. Suppose this drawer contained a word processing program. When you open the drawer, you can see all the files that it contains, just like the dir command does to look at the disk or directory files. Now, suppose that in this filing drawer, you had a letter to a friend. All you would do to see it is open that file. The same is true for the files on the disk. If you had a letter to a friend, all you would do to see it is open that file. This is an oversimplified explanation because each file has certain procedures that need to be followed to open that file. The files you see on this DOS directory are separate programs that the computer needs to operate and to perform certain functions. For example, the file diskcopy.com is a program which makes exact copies of files from one diskette to another. Other disks or directories may contain files that are lists of information like names and addresses, or they may be word processing documents like your letter to a friend. Files are either programs or data. DOS has certain rules about file names. A file name can only be 1 to 8 characters long with an optional extension. An extension is a period followed by 1 to 3 characters. The period does not show up in this file listing. A file name can include the letters A through Z and digits 0 through 9. You can use most of the special character symbols like $signs, %signs, or the underscore character, but there can be no spaces between characters. Oh, one more thing. Each file must have its own unique file name and extension. No two files in the same directory can have the same file name and extension. The extensions must be different if the file names are the same, and the file names must be different if the extensions are the same. As you can see on the screen, there are files with the extensions EXE, COM, and SYS. These extensions are usually abbreviations that tell what kind of file it is. For example, EXE stands for execution. COM is a command file. SYS is a system file. Some word processors automatically name all documents with the DOC extension. LTR is an extension that is often used to designate a letter. There are many other types of extensions. Some programs add their own, and others let you create them. Like the letter to your friend, you could enter under the file name an extension friend.ltr. Generally, if a file name has an extension, you must include it when you refer to that file. The next part of the file list displays the file size, which is measured in bytes. This part of the file tells how many bytes the file is taking up on the disk. The word byte is a computer term which is generally regarded to be the same as a character. A character is any letter, number, symbol, or space between them. If you have a floppy disk that holds 360,000 bytes of information, that means it can hold about that many characters or enough letters to make a paperback book of approximately 240 pages. Hard disks come in many sizes. To give you an idea of how many bytes they can hold, a small 20 meg hard drive can hold 20 million bytes of information, or as much information as 55 360K floppy disks. The last part of the file name shows the date and time the file was created or last modified. Remember when we first started the computer, I said it was important to enter the date. Well, here's why. When you create or modify a file, the current date will help you distinguish it from other files, making it easier to keep track of. At the bottom of the file listing, we see how many files are in that directory and how many bytes are free, meaning how many characters can be added to the directory. Lisa, let's look at a few more variations of the dir command. The first will have a /w replacing the /p. Type dir/w. This will display the directory in columns. Watch. You will notice that this method does not show the file size or the date and time. If you had more than one screen full of files with /w, the /p option can be added here to stop at each screen full. Earlier versions of DOS only had the /p and w switches for looking at directories, but with DOS 6.0, there are many new ways to look at file names plus a new help command.